Okay, so here we have our chicken drumsticks that were sitting in the buttermilk overnight. And I've got a rack here with parchment paper underneath it. And I'm just gonna simply put the chicken on here to drain off the excess buttermilk. And since this is raw chicken, you can't reuse this marinate brining liquid. Just dump it out. But you can see it was obviously definitely enough for 5 drumsticks. All right, and so we're gonna let that drain. And just put this on the sink. Always make sure you rinse your hands off whenever you're touching raw chicken. And I have a brown paper bag. It's just a Whole Foods shopping bag. I cut the top off because it was just so big. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna dump in here our flour mixture with the spices, okay? So I'm just gonna dump that in. And what we will do is we will coat the chicken inside the brown paper bag. So this is the fun part. So if you have kids or little brothers and sisters at home and want to help out, this is the fun part. I always got to do this part when I was little at home. It's better to roll it, close this up, and then toss it so the flour doesn't go into your face, up your nose. All right, so you see it's fully coated. That's what we're looking for. And then we're gonna put this back on the rack and we're gonna let that sit for 30 minutes. And then we can cook, okay? So I'm gonna do the next one. And, oh, there's flour all over my phone now. All right, so I'm gonna close the bag so it doesn't get any more everywhere. And I'll come back and show you how to fry these. Okay, so here's our oil. I've got the thermometer in there. It's actually way over 400. I had it on to heat up. But as soon as I put the chicken in, it's gonna lower it, and we wanna keep this at 350. So we're gonna put in the chicken, and we're gonna do, I think we'll just do 2 to begin with, and we're gonna do it for about 6 to 9 minutes. So I probably do it like 8 minutes on one side, and then turn it over in 8 minutes on the other side. So get this in, and yikes! I don't want to burn myself. It's pretty hot. I'm actually going to turn that all the way down. That's insanely hot. I'm walking away. I don't want to get burnt. All right, so I turn the heat all the way down, and the temperature should lower. And I'm going to turn it all the way off. All right, so I'll set the timer for 6 minutes since it's so hot. All right, so this is continuing to grow. It did drop down quite a bit. I turned the heat back on, and so that was good. I'm just gonna turn it over, make sure it's getting done completely. And I had that in for 5 minutes, and I think I'm just gonna set the timer for 4 more minutes, making it a total of 9 minutes, and then it should be done. All right, so they have been in there, I think, long enough. And they look absolutely gorgeous. Look at that golden brown color. Now I'm gonna add, now what temperature is, oh no, that went down a lot. So I gotta turn the heat back up and wait for the temperature to rise up again before I can add the next batch. All right, so I've got our last piece going in, and I'm gonna do 8 minutes on each side. Now, if I was gonna be doing this again, using a bigger pot would probably be better, just because you could fry more, because if it's gonna take 8 minutes each side, that's a long time. So this size, I could only do 2. Drumstick at a time, which is fine because I'm just doing 5, and it's not like I have another class to go to or anything, so not to worry. But if you're going to do a whole bunch, then I would definitely recommend a larger pan, and that way you could do more at once. Okay, so here are our finished buttermilk fried chicken, and that was the last one. You see how much darker it is? That's because all of these I did 2 at a time, and this one's just by itself. And the thermometer went pretty high too. I didn't keep an eye on it as best I should. I did walk away, and it went up to 400 instead of staying at 350. So if you're going to be frying, you need to kind of stand at the oven and keep an eye on it. So it's okay. I'm sure it will taste delicious, not to worry. Now, I have over here, this one looks good. Oh, yay! A plate of our macaroni and cheese. And there you go, guys. We have our buttermilk fried chicken and our macaroni and cheese. And you can just imagine this would be served at one of Jacqueline Woodson's grandmother's Jehovah's Witness Sunday suppers, and we just need the collard greens. I haven't made those yet, unfortunately, but you can just imagine a pile of collard greens right here and a piece of cornbread, and this plate would be perfect. So anyhow, I hope you guys enjoyed it. We had our buttermilk fried chicken. Again, I only did 5 drumsticks, and we used 1 cup of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of kosher salt, 1.5 teaspoons of black pepper, 1/2 teaspoon of cayenne pepper, 1 teaspoon of paprika, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, and that was our dredging flour. And we soaked it overnight in our buttermilk brine, which tenderized the chicken. It was 2 cups of buttermilk, 2 tablespoons of Tabasco, 1 tablespoon of kosher salt, 1 teaspoon of cayenne pepper, and 1/2 teaspoon of paprika. And then, of course, we fried it in the canola oil. All right, so I prefer canola oil. If you have vegetable oil, that's fine too, but I do prefer canola oil. So there you go. Beautiful. Yum. That's my lunch, so I'm going to enjoy it. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.